So I got something super cool for you today, Jamie, on why rich people think differently than poor people. It's like all about Elon Musk, right?
Totally. And I'm so excited about this one, Alex, Because, Elon, he's the ultimate example, right? Of thinking differently,
So like where did this all, begin for him? Like what made him Elon Musk?
right? So, Elon grew up in South Africa. Pretty rough childhood, actually. And he was super into computers and sci-fi. Coding by the time he was 12, selling his first software, Blaster, I think it was called, when he was a teenager. So entrepreneurial from the get-go, you know what I mean?
So always a hustler?
Totally. And he was bullied pretty bad. I think kind of fueled his drive, to prove everyone wrong. And the thing is, he learned to solve problems early on, because he had to. Navigating that tough environment, it really shaped his mindset, right? He developed this figure it out attitude. And that's key to his success. Do you know what I mean?
So he wasn't afraid to, take chances?
Oh, absolutely not. He risked everything multiple times. You know what I mean? Like with PayPal and SpaceX and Tesla. He put all his money in, right? Multiple times he was close to being totally broke. But he kept going. And the thing is, he's not just taking risks for the sake of it, right? It's calculated. He's sees the bigger picture, the long-term potential. He's willing to challenge, conventional wisdom, right? Everyone said electric cars were stupid, and reusable rockets, impossible. But he didn't listen. He just went for it, you know? And look at him now. This is why rich people think differently than poor people.
So he just ignores everyone else?
Well, not exactly. It's more that he, thinks for himself, right? He doesn't just accept what everyone else says is true. He uses what he calls first principles thinking, really getting down to, the fundamental truths. So, with first principles thinking, it's about breaking down a problem to its most basic elements, right? Instead of just copying what other people do, or accepting the status quo, he starts from scratch. You know what I mean? He asks, what do we know for sure is true?
So can you give an example?
Yeah, with SpaceX, right? Everyone said reusable rockets were impossible and too expensive. But Elon, he broke it down. What are the raw materials, right? How much do they actually cost? Turns out the materials for a rocket are, way cheaper than everyone thought. So he realized if you could reuse the rocket, you could dramatically reduce the cost of space travel, right? That was the key insight. And he does this with everything, with Tesla too. Everyone said electric cars were slow and had no range. So he focused on improving battery technology, right? Because if you can make a better battery, you can solve both of those problems.
What can we learn from this, right? How can we be more like Elon?
So the key takeaway here is don't be afraid to question assumptions, right? Challenge the status quo. Everyone told Elon, electric cars were a dead end. And look at Tesla now, right? It's huge.
Yeah, totally. How do we actually do that though, in our own lives?
Well, start by identifying a problem, right? Something you want to solve or a goal you want to achieve. Then break it down. What are the underlying assumptions? What are the fundamental principles at play? And don't be afraid to think outside the box. Be creative. Try new things.
So, yeah, thinking differently, right? It's really important.
Absolutely. Like Elon shows us, that anything is possible. If you're willing to, challenge the status quo and think big.
Totally. So thanks for listening to why rich people think differently than poor people. And we'll see you next time.